Hello YouTube, my name's Imogen and welcome to my video. So today, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to talk about a subject that's a little bit more serious than what I usually talk about, and it is quite personal to me. So I'm going to talk about gender disappointment. This obviously relates to when you're pregnant or when you have your baby. Now, when I was little, all I ever wanted to be in life was a mum. That was my only job aspiration. That was the only thing I really knew I wanted to do, is have babies. And I always pictured having like 2 or 3 little girls, and they, you know, all dressed the same as me in like leopard print and pink and fluffy and glittery, and you know, just cutie little girls with little handbags and little sunglasses and match mummy, and it'd be really cute and we could all be matching. And that's just what I always thought I would get. I'm not for a single second in my life had the thought of having a boy ever cross my mind. Not that I didn't want one, I just never thought about it, or just never thought that it would be something that would happen for me. And the first time I ever thought, oh, I'm gonna have a son, was when I was pregnant. So my whole like pregnancy, before I found out what we were having, I just knew that I was having a boy, and half of it I think was like mother's intuition, and I sort of just had like this sense that I was having a boy. Every single time I thought about the baby, I just thought it's a boy. I could just picture a boy, and I knew that I was going to be having my little Noah. Now, I guess the other half of that was probably me preparing myself, because I didn't want to get to the point where we found out what we were having and it'd be a complete shock, like convincing myself I was having a girl and it'd be a complete shock, and then end up having this little boy. Now, finding out what the baby was going to be, what gender we were going to have at 20 weeks was my decision. Derek was happy just to wait. He didn't mind the surprise. He didn't care what he was having, a boy or girl. He would have been happy as long as it was healthy and there was nothing, you know, health-wise wrong or anything like that. He was perfectly happy whatever we got. The whole decision was for me, because I didn't want to get to the day that I delivered my baby and have some sense of sadness or disappointment or just be upset on the day my baby was born. I wanted to be completely happy that my little baby was here and so excited to meet them. I didn't want it to come out and still have that hope that I was having a girl, like, or I'd surprise myself and actually be having a girl, and then him come out as a boy and be like a little bit disappointed on the day. So I needed time to prepare myself, and we went in and we found out, and in the beginning of the scan, they don't tell you until the end, so they were checking him over and making sure everything was okay. He was perfect. He posed perfectly for every shot that they needed to see. He was so happy, so healthy, such a perfect baby. And then they go, you know, do you want to find out? And I was like, yep, we're gonna find out. So they pulled it over to like in between the legs part, and what I didn't know is Derek had actually already seen, as she was like going over my belly, he'd actually already kind of caught a glimpse of what was between his legs but didn't say anything to me. And then so she went over and she's like, yep, can you tell what that is? And I was like, oh yeah, like I was like, are you sure? Like 100% sure that's definitely a boy? And she's just like, yeah, there's no mistaking that. He was definitely a boy. Sorry Noah, if you're watching this, is like older and I'm telling the whole world, yeah, definitely boy parts, but yes, he was, you know, definitely a boy. I got a little bit of like a wave of sadness sort of over me, and like, oh, I got a bit of a lump in my throat. Like, I knew this was coming, but I still had hope that there wasn't anything there between the legs, and that it was actually going to be a girl and I was going to be surprised. And we went then straight away after to the shops, and we got his first little outfit, and that was the first thing that he wore. You know, we got like a cute little blue bear suit, and we got some like cute little boy outfits, and it felt good to be able to, you know, be excited about it. And we did a like gender reveal to our family and to my friends. For my friends, I got like a blue candle, and other best friend, I got a little Noah's Ark book and gave it to them, and they, you know, opened it. It was really exciting. Hey girls, let's go. Yeah. Ready? 5, 2, 1. And for our parents, we got little Easter, like, because it was coming up to Easter, we got little Easter chocolates, and sort of cut them in half, filled them with like blue little chocolates, and then like sealed it again, and they all opened theirs, and it was blue on the inside, and that was really exciting. I do feel that the excitement level from everyone wasn't as high as it would have been if we were having a girl, and I don't know if that's just because that's the way I was feeling and I was just projecting that onto everybody, or if that genuinely was the thing. I felt like I had a lot of comments going, oh, I really hope you have a girl, I bet you're having a girl, it'll be really exciting, I can see you with a girl. And it kind of was harder, like that was a harder pill to swallow when, you know, we were telling people, oh, we're having a boy, and I'm trying to be really excited because there's nothing worse than being like, yeah, I'm having a baby, it's a boy, like, you know, being like shitty about it, because you can't be, it's still your baby, you still love it so much, and there's nothing you would change, like. But, you know, I think it was harder for me to feel the excitement from other people if I wasn't so excited myself, and I felt a lot of people were a bit disappointed that I was having a boy and not a girl. But there again, like I said, I don't know if that's just me or if that genuinely was the feeling. So once we had told people, you know, it was out there, and we told everyone basically his name if they ever asked, we told them what we were having, there was no secret about it, and we started buying lots of things for him, and it was really exciting having more and more clothes grow for him and buying more things that were going to be his in his room, and I got really excited. There's not really much out there for boys in the way of boys clothes and boys things, anything like funky for boys. There's not really much out there. Also, if you just notice my boob is just all of a sudden falling out of my top, I'm actually feeding the baby, not just randomly got my tit out. So as you know, we got more things and we plodded along. I was, you know, getting a bit more used to the idea of having a little boy. Derek's cousin and my cousin were both pregnant at the same time as me. Derek's cousin had a baby a week after us, and my cousin had a baby 2 months after us. And during that time, obviously, they both found out that they were having girls, and very selfishly, I was very jealous and I was a little bit upset. Like, I did have a little bit of a cry both times when we found out what they were having, just because I wanted my little girl so badly, and it was something that I never really thought that I never thought I was going to have a boy. It's not something I ever really wanted. Like, it wasn't something that I'd imagined and envisioned that I was going to have. And I just really wanted my little girl. Anyway, towards the end of my pregnancy, my stepdad's niece had a little boy born, and he was actually born with quite a lot of complications. He had some heart problems and some other health issues that were actually quite life-threatening. And it just snapped me out of my funk, and it really made me think, like, I am so lucky that I, touch wood, you know, have a really healthy, perfectly fine little boy in there. And so what, he's a little boy. As long as he's healthy and he's happy, why should I really care what he is, you know? And so that was a real, like, slap in the face, because I really need to be shook out of my, shaken? I needed to be knocked out of my little funk of feeling sorry for myself. And if you think about it, I mean, if I lived in China, having boys is so desirable. That's all they want, is boys. So, you know, I'd be pretty important over there, and having a boy first to take on the namesake, and, you know, your first child, first-born boy, and, you know, it's like a real big deal. It is cool, and having a big brother that can take care of all of his little siblings, and I think that's beautiful, and it is a really, like, special thing, your first child being a boy, especially for the dads, is really, like, a nice thing. I think it just became a little bit more exciting to me. I had my baby shower, and it was beautiful, and I got so many gorgeous gifts from my friends and family, and I just got so excited. By the time he was born, I just couldn't wait to get him out and cuddle him and snuggle him. And boys are great. Like, if you are like me and really just want a girl, and will really just have your heart set on having a girl, and now you have a little boy, or you're expecting a little boy, don't be sad about it. Boys are so cruisy, so easy. I mean, think about it. When they're older, they're not going to have like hormonal periody girl puberty problems. They're just going to like be a little shitty and then they're fine, you know? Boys are great. I mean, I don't have to like really worry that much about what he's going to wear. I mean, of course I'm a fashionista, so he has to look fashionable, and half the time I do still match him to me. Like today I'm wearing a little denim skirt and a white blouse. He had denim pants on and a white top. So I still did make him match with me, unfortunately for him. But I love having my little boy. Boys are easy. He is so cool and so calm, and he's so loving and sweet, and yes, he has his moments, but what baby doesn't? I'm so lucky to have him, and I'm so lucky to be his mummy. And yeah, I do still, when I hang out with one of my really close friends who has a little girl who's Noah's little girlfriend, I do get jealous and looking all of her clothes that she buys her and her cute headbands, and just the thought of her being, you know, mummy and me and her cute little best friend, and I do get a bit jealous. I have to admit that, and I always say to her all the time, I'm going to buy all these clothes for Kinsley because I need someone to buy them for. But you know what, it's going to be so good when I have my girl and I get to inherit all the clothes from all of his cousins and all of his friends and I'll get all the beautiful little hand-me-downs, so I don't mind that. And my little girl will have a really beautiful, protective, sweet big brother. Are you going to come say hello to everyone to this video, or are you just going to sit and eat? You know, he's always like a real quick eater. He is like a 5-minute feeder, always has been, doesn't really feed for that long. Apart from recently, when I'm doing things, I'm out, or I'm like, you know, about to go out, and then he decides to take like half an hour to feed, which is so unlike him. Give me a... I mean, look at this face. Does it get cuter than this? Those big, beautiful blue eyes and those long eyelashes. Everyone always comments on how gorgeous his eyes are. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at those eyelashes. Oh, you're so pretty. And everyone thinks he's a girl anyway, so I don't know what I'm worried about. Anyway, guys, thank you. You don't need to make your eyes look so big, but I'm so lucky to have him, and I love him so much, and I wouldn't change him for the world. I don't want a girl instead of him. He is so perfect to me. I hope it's been a little bit helpful to you. Just because you're disappointed with what you're getting, there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't make you a bad mother. It doesn't make you a horrible person for wanting one gender over the other. And gender disappointment is a real thing. It is heartbreaking. I cried a few times after we found out he was a boy, and after finding out, you know, family members and my friends are having girls. I did get upset and I did get jealous, and if you do too, then that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as you can tell someone. Don't be, you know, embarrassed, and don't feel like shame on feeling that. Tell someone, tell your partner, tell your best friend, tell someone, because you need to get it out, because when your little baby comes along, I promise you, you're just going to feel nothing but love and excitement for them, and you're not going to wish them to be anything other than what they are. Isn't that right, Bubba? Mwah. Mwah. Oh, he's going for a poo. You're welcome, internet. We will see you in our next video. It has been lovely talking to you again. We will see you soon. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.